Hello, people. Welcome back to my channel. This is Mindset Mentor Podcast with Anosong, or you could call it Mindset Development, whatever way you want to put it. This is basically a podcast that helps you develop mentally, and we have been dealing with issues that borders on personal development. And for the entire season, we will be doing issues, of course, on personal development. This is because of how important personal development is to each and every one. And I tend to think that a lot of us undervalue personal development. And this is the same reason why I decided to bring it here. So if you are not sure where we started and why we are here, you want to look at my 4-second thought and maybe the fourth video on personal development. But today we are going to be dealing with factors that affect personality development. Now, we are going to be dealing with factors that affect personality development. And I want you to know right now that there are so many different factors that affect personality development. But we are going to be looking at the 4 major factors that affect personality development. And we have the hereditary factor, we have the family factor, we have the cultural factor, and we have the social factor. Now, we are going to start with hereditary factor. When it comes to personal development or personality development, you want to think of the impact that hereditary brings into it. Like, the way we behave, the way we think, and some of the things that we do has a lot to do with genetic reasoning. Like, sometimes we inherit certain behavior, certain character from our parents, okay? Now, what I'm saying here basically is that the characteristic of our behavior can be genetic, which means it's inherited. Like when you see people with, say, Down syndrome, people who do not look complete, who are slow, who look different, these things sometimes are genetic. And when it comes to personality development, you might not be able to do that much to develop them as much as you want to develop them, or they might not be as fast as others. So you want to consider hereditary when it comes to personality development. And this is why we say people are different, because we come from different families with different belief system, with different orientation, and with different social standings or a cycle. Okay, so when it comes to personality development, you want to you want to consider all of these factors. Okay, so now, for instance, if you have a child that has a Down syndrome, and you are training these children, you cannot, or you're trying to help them develop their personality, you can never ever compare that child with a child that is normal. And you cannot blame that child for having a Down syndrome. You cannot even do anything about it, because apparently that child may have inherited it. And once it's genetic, there's nothing you can do to modify it. You might be able to improve their situation a little, or their thinking disposition a little, but not as much as you would want to. So you consider that. And this is a major factor that affects personality development. Then we have another factor again that is called family factor, okay? Now, family factor has a lot of impact. Now, the reason is because a person who comes from a family with educated parents and other people around that person being educated, this factor will affect the personality of that person better and will impact on that person positively more than a person who comes from that family where there is no educated person. So the way we see things has a lot to do with our upbringing, the things we were told, and how we were told these things, okay? So the way people raise children, their own belief system, the do's and don'ts, that is usually not applicable to other people. They grow up understanding and knowing things this way. Most times, you might not be able to do that much to change it. Now, we have another factor, which is social factor. Now, social factor has to do with the people that you relate with, people you find around you. And this is the same reason why people keep going back to telling you that the people you relate with, the people you make your friends, has a lot to do with whether you will go up or come down. Yes, it's a determinant factor. The group of people that you hang around with, what they believe, what they think, what they say, is a determinant factor as to whether your personality development will improve, whether your personality will improve. It's very, very important. And this is why you see parents, being so meticulous when it comes to the people they see their children with. Like, you see a small teenage boy. If you have a teenage boy, you will never allow your teenage boy who is 13 or 14 to be hanging out with some teenage kid who is smoking all over the place. It's natural for any parent not to want that for their own, okay? So this is because our social circle is very impactful on us as individuals. And this has a lot to do with personality development. And this has to be the third factor. Now, the fourth factor, because we are talking about 4 factors that affect personality development, is culture and tradition. Now, people have different belief systems, people have different culture and tradition, and we have been urged to respect other people's culture and tradition. Now, what they were taught when they were growing up, the way things are done in their local settings, everything they believe in, sometimes it's very difficult to come and get to that point where you say, okay, I'm going to just pull it out. I don't want you to believe in this. This is what I want you to believe in. No, sometimes it's even not possible to do this. So if you don't want people to strike with you, you have to be very careful when it comes to people's culture and tradition. There are no wrong or right answers. It's not a subjective assessment. It doesn't have to do with your personal belief system. It's what they think, and what they think is right, and that is why we are all different. So this has a lot to do with personality development. So when you are talking about personality development, you want to put all of these factors into consideration, because these are the 4 factors, major factors that affect personality development. So I'm going to stop here for today, and I hope that you enjoy this. If you do, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so when I upload the content, you get to see it. I want to tell you that I appreciate you a great deal. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I really, really appreciate you. Bye for now.